Hey Buffs, welcome to this week's edition of NewsTeam Boulder.
On today's episode, this Friday, March 17th, we'll hear about how a new artificial intelligence program is changing education practices at CU.
Did you notice they removed the cover on the Buff Pool? And when exactly will it be opening?
And finally, is renting really the best option for CU students? Find out all this and more on today's episode of NewsTeam Boulder.
Good afternoon and welcome to NewsTeam Boulder. I'm Nick Monroy.
And I'm Derek Hernandez.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from all of us here at NewsTeam. It doesn't look like either of us are wearing green, Derek, so hopefully there's no leprechauns hiding around in the studio.
I hope not. Hey Nick, how are your midterms going?
Not bad. How about you?
I think I did well. I had a few essays.
That's good. Speaking of essays, did any of your professors talk to you about ChatGPT?
Oh, they did. ChatGPT is a new artificial intelligence program which is gaining popularity along with concerns about its impact on academic integrity. NewsTeam's Alyssa Palazzo has the story.
What if the hours you spent writing a paper could be reduced to minutes?
One of the first big exposures of machine learning to the general public.
It's called ChatGPT, and electrical engineering student Marceline Mulligan isn't sure it's quite as simple as it sounds.
I think long term it could be one of those complicated things where it may or may not either augment or harm education. I think that it's kind of one of those things where when used right, it can be a useful tool.
This technology is powerful.
It works like this. First, you'll type a prompt, such as, write a paragraph about Romeo and Juliet. Then click Generate. And there it is, writing 2 paragraphs about William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
I think we've recognized that blah or boring text is pretty easy to generate, but to develop a voice of one's own that stands out, I think is going to be increasingly an important skill, in both as students, but also in the workforce as we go forward.
Founding director of the Center for Teaching and Learning, Kirk Ambrose, at CU, said this technology is already affecting education, noting that the university is figuring out ways to incorporate ChatGPT in teachers' educational practices.
And one of the interesting things about ChatGPT is it doesn't know if it's lying or truthful or something like that. It doesn't have any filter for that. And so often you get misinformation in that. And then the professors will use that answer that they receive from ChatGPT, give that to their students, and ask the students to find basically the errors and so on, and it uses it as a way of correcting.
The Boulder Faculty Assembly will hold 2 more sessions of their AI Colloquium series on March 15th and April 5th at the Center for Teaching and Learning. For NewsTeam Boulder, I'm Alyssa Palazzo.
With concerns over GPT-3 still floating around, it's hard to believe we're already seeing the next model, GPT-4, make its way slowly to the public. GPT-4 has already accomplished massive feats, such as being the first AI to pass the bar exam. The main concern for most stems from Microsoft laying off their AI ethics team, though Microsoft says even with these layoffs, they are committed to AI safety and responsibility, and have been developing and improving their Office of Responsible AI.
Up next, a quick preview on what to expect from our men's and women's basketball teams this March.
Are you ready to get back into summer activities? We certainly are. Coming up, we see when the Buff Pool is finally opening.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Buffs. Let's go to NewsTeam's Megan McPherson, who's down on Pearl Street ahead of the anticipated crowds. Megan, fill us in on all the green-themed festivities taking place in Boulder this weekend.
Hey Buffs, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm here on Pearl Street right now outside of Bohemian Beer Garden. As you can hear, they've already got some Irish music going. People are starting to flood in, ask for some beer, ask for some Irish food. So St. Patrick's Day is in full swing here in Boulder. Want to just highlight some other events that are going on today here. Starting at 4 p.m. today, various venues across the city will be participating in a pub crawl throughout the St. Patrick's Day weekend here in downtown Boulder. You have to register online for those food and drink specials, and it looks like it's already sold out, but you can still come down here, join in on the fun, get some good drink specials, and have a good time. Also tonight, you can go and learn how to make Irish classics, including soda bread, Irish stew, and shepherd's pie with instruction from Chef Dallas at Augustine Escoffier School of Culinary Arts here in Boulder. You can also stop by Boulder Social from 11 a.m. to close for free St. Patty's Day swag and food and drink specials. Denver-based funk and rock band The Velvet Plums will be performing an energetic show at Velvet Elk Lounge here in Boulder starting at 9 p.m. And coming up throughout this weekend, there will be food and drink specials all weekend long with Irish dancers at the West End Tavern. And Avery Brewing Company will be making their Irish Red Ale in addition to hosting a 5K fun run and a post-race party complete with beers, an Irish breakfast burrito, entertainment, and live music. For anyone on campus or in Boulder that does not drink, there are plenty of events that are also available to celebrate this holiday. There will be free supplies and snacks handed out at the UMC today from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. if you're in need of anything. For all those gamers out there, there is an RHA Shamrock Smashdown with CU Gaming tonight from 6 to 11 p.m. at the Village Center multi-purpose room, and also a Buffs After Dark silent disco event from 7 to 10 tonight at the Rec Center ice rink. No matter what you're doing today to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, stay safe, have fun, and go Buffs.
The 6th seed Colorado Buffaloes take on number 11 Middle Tennessee in the first round of the NCAA women's basketball tournament tomorrow at 5 p.m. After ending a 9-year March Madness drought a year ago, the Buffs will make consecutive appearances in the women's tournament for the first time since a 4-year run from 2001 to 2004. The men's team is moving on to the second round of the National Invitational Tournament, or NIT, after squeaking out a 1-point win at home versus Seton Hall on Tuesday. The 3-seed Buffs will play Utah Valley at the CU Event Center Sunday at 7:30 p.m. with coverage on ESPNU.
Have you noticed the Buff Pool cover is off? NewsTeam's Angus Skinner tells us more.
Happy Friday, Buffs. I'm here at the CU Rec Center standing in front of the Buff Pool. Now, I know you've walked past the last couple days and you've seen that the cover's off, but unfortunately, it's not open yet. We met with Facility Supervisor Michael Casio to discuss his thoughts on the pool opening for the summer.
I really like that it's a sign that summer's about to be here.
As well as what he's looking out for.
During the summer, a lot of people like to come to the Buff Pool with alcohol or they're already inebriated. So my biggest concern and thing I look out for the most is that everyone's being safe.
The pool is set to open sometime after spring break, so you can bring all your friends. There's a basketball hoop, plenty of seating for everybody. It's always a great time. Reporting live for NewsTeam Boulder, I'm Angus Skinner. Back to you.
After the break, Jada Rodriguez will preview what our weather looks like this weekend in Boulder.
Don't go anywhere.
Hey Buffs, I hope that you are having a great Friday and a fantastic St. Patrick's Day. We had such nice temperatures earlier this week, but I am sad to report that that little taste of spring was just a teaser, and into this weekend and next week we'll be looking at cooler temperatures. So today here in Boulder, we are going to be seeing a high around 39 with a low of 16. Moving into the weekend, on Saturday, we're seeing a high of 38 with a low of 18. Sunday, we're seeing 45 and then 24. And on Monday, we can expect some snow. Around 1 to noon p.m., we're going to see a high of around 48 with a low of 27. Taking a look at the slopes, if you are planning to go skiing or snowboarding, we have some great conditions this weekend. At Copper, we are going to see 76 inches, A Basin at 67, Breck at 63, and Vail at 76. Taking a closer look at the national map, there are some things that might affect us later on into the week. So there is going to be a low pressure system moving from the eastern United States through the southwest. So we are going to be seeing a little bit more precipitation within that region, in that movement. It's mostly going to be in the eastern United States, but we can expect some in the later half of the week. There's also going to be some heavy thunderstorms down in Texas, so keep an eye out. Taking a closer look at Colorado, we are going to see highs around 37 For Denver, in Pueblo, we're going to see highs around 38. In Grand Junction, we're going to see highs around 45. And down here in Durango, we're going to see highs around 47. That's it for weather. Coming up, if you are finding real estate to be a bit pricey, we'll take a look at some student options.
Renting can be a stressful experience for students, but is it really the only option available? NewsTeam's Joe Jarrell explains how homeownership can benefit students beyond just having a place to live.
Imagine going to school and living practically rent-free. Sound like a dream? That's exactly what many students are doing across the country as they dive into homeownership. Each year, thousands of Boulder residents sign or renew a lease with the assumption that that's the best option for them. However, many don't realize that they do have an opportunity to buy. Cole Lease and Hope is a realtor with over a decade of experience selling homes in Colorado, took this approach while in college, and it is something that he highly recommends others take advantage of as well.
The biggest advice I would say is to buy his home as soon as you can. The advantage to buying a home is it's the quickest way to financial security. So that's what I did. I bought a home right out of college. I was single at the time, so I was able to rent a few rooms out, and that made my payment way, way cheaper than it would be to rent, that's for sure. And I was also, investing in something. My money was going somewhere. It wasn't going towards paying off someone else's mortgage. It was going to paying off mine. And what we see here in Colorado is that homes typically go up about 7 to 12% a year. And so that means people walk away usually with a lot of money when they go to sell their homes.
The type of financial benefit that Cole experienced would allow many students to pay off student loans, buy a vehicle, or just set themselves up financially for their future. As the Fed has increased interest rates, we have seen home prices begin to stall and even drop. With more homes becoming available in the later part of this year, there could be a prime opportunity for home buyers to get a good deal matched with fair interest rates.
They tell us relief is on the way. From our lender affiliates, we're hearing second half of 2023 that rates could be back in the high 4s, which would be huge for us and jumpstarting the market again. So if that happens, I see a real big bounce back. I think people are going to jump back in the market because I don't know if interest rates will ever get back in the 3s anymore. So if they're in the 4s, that's pretty darn good. And I think people are getting used to that idea that those days are kind of gone where you have super low, record-setting low interest rates. And home prices are kind of following. We're seeing right now a lot of price dumps because there's not as many buyers in the market. Homes are taking a lot longer to sell, and people are no longer getting multiple offers. So home prices are starting to go down. So that's good. We're seeing a little bit of stabilization there in the market as far as home prices go. Now we just need interest rates to follow.
Buying a house can understandably be very intimidating, but for students, this is one project that's definitely worth the homework. For NewsTeam Boulder, I'm Joe Jarrell.
Thanks for tuning into this week's edition of NewsTeam Boulder. We hope everybody has a safe, healthy, and happy St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Have a great weekend, Buffs. We'll see everyone next Friday at 4 p.m.